Hi guys, welcome to another weekly reading vlog. It is Monday, and if you're looking at this thinking, this camera quality looks a little better than normal, it's because I got a new camera! This dramatic zoom in, did that help make it more exciting? I bought myself a camera. I have been using my iPhone since deciding to come back into the world of vlogging, and there's nothing wrong with using the iPhone, but I was starting to get kind of annoyed because it kept filling up my memory really quickly, even though I've got quite a high memory. But because things were sitting away recently deleted and things, and it just reached a point where I thought, no, I don't want to sacrifice the use of my phone as a phone because the memory's too full, because I take all my Instagram photos on my phone as well, so I didn't want to not be able to fill it up with those. And also it was getting to the point where I was filming something and then it would just stop filming halfway through and I wouldn't realise because the battery, or the memory, because the memory had run out on my phone. So that was annoying. There were several videos I had to film more than once. So I bought a camera which might seem like quite the purchase given that I'm only about 2 or 3 months into this, but I really like filmmaking in general. I mean, I would, have to like it for doing a film production degree, so it's not too far of a reach for me to want to buy something like this. But the camera I have gone for is the Sony ZV-1, which is specifically called a vlogging camera because I have a photography camera that doesn't have a flip round screen. So I wanted to get this one because I wanted one that was specifically for vlogging. So I'm really excited. I'm such this is when I get nerdy about this kind of thing now, because I haven't been able to film since I left uni, really. I haven't really done anything like this, so it's nice to be able to get back into this and get a proper camera to do it with. As much as this is obviously just a vlogging camera, it's not like a super pro camera, but it's good for what I want because I do have my other cameras for photography. I just don't find them very easy to vlog with, so welcome to my new vlog setup thing. I'm really excited. Anyway, I'm also really pleased because I start this week by finishing a book already, and that is The Poet X. Look, it'll do. Ooh. This is an amazing YA contemporary story told in prose by an author I have now bought all the books of as of this morning when I finished this, and that is Elizabeth Acevedo. She is brilliant at writing such beautiful prose into her book. I wouldn't say books because I haven't read the other ones yet, but this one was absolutely brilliant. I started it yesterday and I could have finished it yesterday, but I wanted to read it slower because there's so much happening and it's so important. The themes, I've post-it noted a lot. That, for me, that's quite a lot. I don't usually post-it note because I like to just read it and not have to think, oh, stop, post-it note. I don't like doing that as much, but sometimes it's necessary. And in this situation, it was necessary. But this, no surprise, was a 5-star read. I really just love the prose format as well. So yeah, I've ordered her other books via Hive, which I've just started hearing about. Kate told me about Hive from reading through Infinity, so thank you, Kate. Hive is basically an online bookshop, but when you complete your purchase, at the end of it, it gives you the option to add a section of your purchase as a donation to a chosen local bookshop of your choice, and it's at no extra cost to you. So I've done that and chosen to send my donations to Mr. B's Bookish Emporium in Bath, which is a bookshop that I regularly go to, and I hope is still able to be somewhere I regularly go after this is all over, and I hope this hasn't damaged them, lockdown and things. So that's a fab idea. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be writing my review for this in the next day or two because I have a lot of feelings. There's a lot of stuff that's tackled here, like a lot of stuff is talked about. Something that I didn't realise it was going to necessarily talk about as well is the way that the two main characters are twins and the way that they're parented, because the blurb doesn't really give that kind of an indication. So it was nice to go down a different route, because I don't think I read enough books that are more about how people are parented. And it's interesting to read about that kind of thing, because normally you don't read about parents, it's just the teens and they're doing the thing. So it was nice to have the mum and the dad there to be read about. So yeah, also I didn't realise this one was LGBT. It's not the centre of it in any way, but it's certainly one of the storylines, so that was nice to be included as well, and I didn't realise that. So generally, really enjoyed it, and there will be a full review on my blog. Next, I think, is going to be Hunting Prince Dracula, because I slightly veered off of my Make Your Myth Take a TBR to read this one, because I knew it would be a quicker read. But yeah, Hunting Prince Dracula is going to be the next book I dive into, and that is for the prompt of royal colours on the cover. So I'll catch up with you guys later with this camera. But for now, yeah, I'm just on my lunch break at the moment, going to have some lunch soon, and then after work start not Stalking Jack the Ripper, Hunting Prince Dracula, the second book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, so I'll catch up with you later. I'm a little bit obsessed with this camera already. I just looked at the footage quickly that I just filmed. It's so sharp, and the background blur, and yeah, this might be a like footage heavy vlog for me, and I'm not even sorry. So I mentioned in my last reading vlog that I was dyeing some white jeans yellow, and I wasn't able to show you guys because I didn't finish them in time before I ended the vlog, but they're finished now and I'm wearing them, so I thought I would show you now. Are you ready for the yellow trousers? A boom! Excuse the little socks with them, but yellow trousers! Surprisingly, don't have yellow trousers, or didn't before now, so quite pleased with them. It is time to start Hunting Prince Dracula by Kerry Maniscalco. This book has been on my TBR for a very, very long time. Thank you, Connie, for buying me a copy of it. I read Stalking Jack the Ripper years ago and I found it incredibly obvious where the story was going and who the killer was, and I just wasn't really bothered to carry on with the series. But then Connie and Lauren, my friends over at Connie Reads and Fiction Tea, they both really, really, really like this series, and their enthusiasm made me want to continue with it. So this is going to be book 2 of the Make Your Myth Taker readathon, and I'm just gonna start it and see how it goes, because I've been told it's a lot better than the first one in the series, so let's see. Hello, it is Tuesday and I am back to actual normal vlogging hours because it's midday, so I'm not starting this vlog after work, which is nice. I think finishing a book yesterday very early in the morning has really spurred me on, because I've just finished book 2 of the week. Again, not one of my Myth Take TBR, but I'm kind of diverging from that because all the TBR books I have for that are very chunky, so I'm having them as my physical reads, and then I read the Poet X as like a weekend break read almost, and this one that I've just finished was an audiobook, so I started it yesterday and finished it today because it was quite short, and that was All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. This is an absolutely fantastic memoir autobiography book written as a series of essays and compiled into this one book by George M. Johnson. He also narrates the book himself. I love it when authors do that. I think when it's an autobiography and they narrate it, it makes the passion come through even more. This book is about George M. Johnson growing up as a black queer teen in America. It's about his experiences from quite a young age up until his early 30s roughly, and about everything he goes through during that time. There's actually a really good list of the topics included in this on the blurb of the book, so I'll just read them to you now because it will cover them better than I probably could. So the blurb says, All Boys Aren't Blue covers topics such as gender identity, toxic masculinity, brotherhood, family, structural marginalisation, consent and black joy. For 5.5 hours, I think this book covers a lot. It's a really poignant read and I very much enjoyed it. I think the topics discussed are really important, and it's a good book to read to educate yourself a little bit more about a culture you might not necessarily have had experience of or been aware of. So I would definitely recommend that one, and it's on Scribd at the moment, so you can get that quite easily if you have a Scribd subscription. That's hard to say, because basically it's not unlimited, but you can get access to quite a lot of books with your Scribd subscription, and I think there might be still running a 60-day free trial. I think normally it's a 30-day, but with lockdown they changed it to 60 maybe. But if you would like to check that out, don't quote me on it, but if you go down to the link below, I've got a code that you can use, or a link or something, so I get 30 days free as a benefit from that, to be transparent, but you get 60-day free trial, so pretty decent if you wanted to try it out and just have 60 days of listening to some amazing books, because there's some really good ones on there at the moment. And I'm kind of having that moment of like, how many audiobooks can I listen to at one time? One. I can listen to one, because I am like no, my brain does not work like that. I can read one physical book and I can listen to one audiobook. Any more than that and I get very confused. Also, I have no idea how to rate this one. It feels very weird rating an autobiography or a memoir. It doesn't, like, it feels odd, like you're rating their life, which I'm not. I think I'll settle on a 5-star because I don't think this is one I can run through Core Pile, because Core Pile talks about characters and intrigue and the setting and things and the atmosphere. I'm like, well, there wasn't, like, obviously you could probably answer for atmosphere, but they're not characters, they're humans, and the intrigue is their life, so I don't really feel like it's right to rate it like that, so I'm just going to blanket it out as a 5-star because it was really good and I'd really highly advise it. I'm also still reading Hunting Prince Dracula, which I started yesterday, and I'm about 100 pages into this one so far. I have a theory. I'm not going to say it here because I don't want to spoil it for you. Also, if I'm right, I want to be able to tell you I was right without having to tell you what happens. I have a theory what happens. I hope I'm not right because I want to be surprised, but also the first book was predictable. I hope this one isn't too because I'm really liking the writing. So yes, it is Tuesday. This is day 2 of the vlog. My hair's gone insane. And I'm gonna do some other things now and catch up with you guys later. I hope you enjoyed this little update. Hi, it's after work. It's like 5 something, it's 5:15. I've been taking stuff off my to-do list, but I am sad reading because technically reading's on my to-do list too. I'm yay far into Hunting Prince Dracula, and so far there's not much Dracula-iness about it. There's a castle that you can see on the front, but other than that I've not really, like, it's got a gothic nature to it, which I expected, and I think when I initially said about my TBR for this readathon, I said I wanted all fantasies, and then I kind of stupidly was like, well, this isn't a fantasy, but it is a gothic book, and I don't think I read much gothic at the moment because I don't think it's as common within YA to come across a gothic. Not that I exclusively read YA, but what I'm saying is it's quite nice to go into a different type of genre with this, whilst I think it's still going to be heavily like mystery based. I like the fact that it is going down that Dracula gothic route. I like the fact that we've got this castle setting. The atmosphere is definitely there. I just want to see what route it goes down in terms of the Dracula type thing. I know that there's a lot of Vlad the Impaler talk when it comes to how murder victims being killed, and I don't know whether that's it or whether there is any more of a route to it, because obviously Vlad the Impaler is what Prince Dracula is based off of, and then Bram Stoker's turned Dracula into the vampire creature that we know, and the more stereotypical vampire, I suppose, whereas actually I think this is going to focus more on the Vlad side of it, so the impaling part. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely enjoying it. I'm interested to see where it goes. Look, I'm actually discussing the books I'm reading with you this week. We didn't really chat about what was happening in winter last week because we just didn't, because I'm rubbish. So yeah, enjoying. Think I know where it's going. Hope I'm wrong. Those are my thoughts so far at like a quarter of the way through the book. So I'm gonna keep reading. It's Wednesday. I'm halfway through the week. I'm also halfway through Hunting Prince Dracula, which I'm enjoying, but also I've not got the intrigue. I don't know why, I'm just not generating that intrigue. The atmosphere, yes. The characters, yes. The setting, great. The intrigue, it's just not there. I just think of things in core pile now, like how would you rate something in core pile? And then I go from there when I think about what attributes are good about it, so that's my current thought process. I'm also reading Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince at the moment, and I felt like I couldn't tell you guys I was reading that unless I addressed my views on what J.K. Rowling is doing at the moment and her stupidly archaic opinions on trans men and trans women. Honestly, I don't know what that woman is playing at. I don't know what she thinks she's doing saying these things online, but it's not okay, it's not alright, and I do not agree with it. I do not condone what she's saying, and I do not share those views in any way, shape or form. For me, Harry Potter is very much something that is owned by the fans, and I think it is a world that the fans are very much taken over. I think there's a couple of fandoms that are like that, and it really, really is the fan space, and I think that's what I'm holding on to, because I've followed this series. I mean, I think the first book came out when I was about 2 or 3, so I really have had this series with me my whole life. The films, the books, the studio tour, you know, all of those kind of things. They've always been there, and I've always really loved this series, and it's so upsetting when you see the creator of this series acting like a complete moronic idiot. For me, though, I very much disconnected J.K. Rowling from those books a long time ago, because I think when you read something so much and you just take so much from it, it becomes your own. You know, that's why we care so much about our Hogwarts houses, because Ravenclaw doesn't get a blooming mention in the books pretty much, but for me, I've made it my own and it's my house and I'm proud of it. So that is how I think about this series, really, and I think I didn't want to say I was reading The Half-Blood Prince and then skirt over this, because I do not agree with what J.K. Rowling is saying, absolutely not, and I know people are all dealing with this in different ways, and it's absolutely fine to do that, and please bear that in mind when you're watching this as well. If you don't agree with me, this is everyone's dealing with this in their own ways, and not everyone is able to just dismiss these books and move on, as I've seen people saying. I've seen a lot of people saying their own stories of what the books have meant to them and how they have found a home in these books, and these are also people that have been affected by what J.K. Rowling is saying, and yet they've said they've been able to separate the books from her. And I know suddenly people are saying it's gone too far and you can no longer separate the books from the author, but for me, it's not as much separating the books from the author, it's the fans. It's the fans' world. I'm never going to stop loving it, and I don't want to pretend to stop loving it, but I just wanted to address that quickly with you guys. I think Daniel Radcliffe does a better job of saying what I'm trying to say, so I'll link his speech down below, but essentially he's saying hold on to whatever the books mean to you, because that is important, and they mean different things to different people, and hopefully what J.K. Rowling has said has not taken away what it means to the people that really, really loved it. Maybe if it was some other series I could let it go, but I can't do that, and it wouldn't be honest and genuine to tell you that I could, and I don't want to be disingenuous with you guys, so that is my thoughts and feelings. I don't agree with her in any way, I'm not financially supporting her, but I do love these books, and I don't want to pretend I don't want to stop rereading them, because we're currently watching the films again with my sister and encouraging her with reading them. I get that they are flawed, and J.K. Rowling is the biggest flaw of them all, but you can't simply switch off the love you have for something like that. Yeah, that was my little TED talk that you never asked for. I'm gonna stop worrying about saying this and stop word vomiting and just crack on with the rest of my day now. So yeah, thanks for listening, and I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. I was just about to start filming and tell you guys how I feel like the days were blurring into one, and I can just hear my mum and my stepdad using the new vacuum cleaner that we just got, and they're literally whooping at it. Is this what adult life has in store? They're way too excited about this vacuum cleaner. It's getting closer. Anyway, what I was gonna come on and say seems redundant now, but the days are blurring into one. Every single day is the same. I finish work, I read for about half hour, I go on a walk, I have dinner, I chill, we watch Desperate Housewives, which we're rewatching at the moment, and it's just on repeat. I'm literally listening to two fully grown adults who own a house and have a child getting excited about a vacuum cleaner. I apologise if you guys are watching this, like as in if my mum and stepdad are watching this. I apologise for you guys watching this. Like, I'm just gonna go. Paint me like one of your French books, Jack. Oh, I think I'm slowly losing my mind. I've just read a line that I feel like I need to share with you guys, because you'll get it, you'll understand. It says, I will gladly accept any and all books, however. A person can never have too much reading material, especially on a fall or winter evening. That's just like, yeah, Audrey Rose, you've got that right. That is spot on, the best line in the book. I'm smack bang halfway through the book. Yes. I feel like this one has been on my TBR so long that now I'm just like, need to finish, and I've just come up with another theory, and now I'm like, because I feel like when you work out who you think's done it and then you think maybe someone else did it, you have to try and decide whether you stick with your gut or do you keep going. It's like when you play a game of Cluedo, like do you stick with what you thought? Well, Cluedo is more like a logic game, but you know, do you stick with what you thought, or do you go to the new idea? I don't know, guys, I don't know. I'm gonna go out on a walk now so I don't completely lose my mind in isolation. I thank you for witnessing the insanity that's happening right now. Every time I go out for a walk in a field, every single time, and I'm wearing yellow, which is most of the time, I just come home and there's just bugs all over me. All over me, they just fly at me and think I'm a flower. So I'm wearing purple today, I'm zipped up, there's no yellow in view, so hopefully this deters the creatures. Will it? I don't know. Also, repping my uni, University of Winchester. Whoa! I don't know what this is, sorry. Yeah, this is my uni hoodie, and thankfully it's still alive, because I love a good uni hoodie, they're very comfy. I'm gonna go on a walk now and hopefully not come back covered in bugs. That is the goal right now. Good morning, it's Thursday, which means it is nearly the weekend, and what is happening with my hair today? It's going all over the place. Surprise, surprise, I've got another busy day at work today, and I'm still reading Hunting Prince Dracula, and yeah, it's okay. I'm not liking it as much as I thought it would. I think it's going towards a 3-star rating at the moment. I don't know why I'm surprised, because yeah, the first one for me wasn't mind-blowing, but I want to read more by this author, but not of this series, and I don't know if she has anything that's not this series. I don't think so, but anyway, that's my reading plans for the day. When I finished work I shall settle down. Also, I am watching so much New Girl at the moment, just like it's happy, it's positive, it's jolly, and I love Jess's outlook on life. So I am watching a lot of that at the moment, and it's making me feel good. So that was a lot of my evening last night, as well as reading. But I did manage to get quite a bit of reading done. I think I've got about 150 pages left, so it's progress. I will let you know later what I think of more of the book when I get to it. Hopefully I can reach like the final 100 pages tonight, by tonight. Book mail books came in the mail. Hey! I have got With the Fire on High and Clap When You Land. Both of these are by the fantastic Elizabeth Acevedo. She writes fantastic stories in prose. She wrote The Poet X, so I had to order these two as well. I'm pretty sure they're written in prose. Maybe this one isn't, but this one I have been told is. Yes, this one is. So I love the way that she wrote The Poet X, so I really wanted to check out more by her work. Also, these covers are stunning, and these spines will fit very nicely onto my rainbow shelf. So I'm really, really excited to read both of these. I'm currently thinking that a video I could do for the coming weeks would be like a lockdown book haul type thing. So I could just show you guys all the books that I have acquired since lockdown. And then I just thought I'd have a look at my shelves. I need to stop buying books. It needs to stop. Like, I bought myself a Kindle so I would stop buying physical books. And then I just think about all the books I bought on my Kindle. I'm like, oh god, what? Like, how am I ever going to read all of these books? How? How is that going to happen? Is there some magical way that I could just read them all? Like, just like that. And actually remember them all as well. That is my biggest thing. Is that, alright, maybe I could read them, but am I going to remember what happened in them? No. No, I'm not. So there might well be some kind of a haul video. I don't know if that would be something you guys would be interested in, because I've not filmed a haul before, but I'm waiting for 2 or 3 more books to arrive that are particularly hard to get hold of hardbacks. That was more difficult than it needed to be to say. So I'm waiting for them to arrive, and I'm hoping that they may be here by the weekend. But also I don't even know if they've dispatched yet. They were in stock when I ordered them like a week ago, so I would have thought they might be, but they're not here. So maybe they'll be here, maybe they won't. So if they arrive, I will do the video with them in it, and if I don't think there's any sign, maybe I'll just film it next week and just post it with like an honorary mention to the fact that they are somewhere in the postal system. I'm just talking a load of rubbish now, so I'll shut up. But yeah, that might be coming soon to a YouTube channel near you. Just made my room all nice and cozy, sat down to read, and this book, I'm getting a bit eye-rolly. There was just a line where one of the characters was just casually like, oh, by the way, I'm blah da 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 da, and it was meant to be this big, oh my god moment, and I just read it and was like, are you kidding me? Really? It's just... I probably knew this was coming given that I didn't really love the first one, but still, we'll push through, see where it goes, see what happens, see if it surprises me. It's raining again, which is really sad because I was going to go for a walk. I've gone for at least a mile walk or a mile cycle every single day of lockdown, and not once has the weather been bad enough to stop me, and now it's just been raining all day, so I'm like, oh, this is kind of sad. I don't want the weather to stop me. I want to go out and go for a walk or a cycle. Probably not a cycle when the weather's like this, because cold water in your face is not pleasant. But I guess I'll just have to stay in and read. I've just had a minute to compile my thoughts in my brain. It's really difficult talking about this book without telling you what's actually happening in it, but basically we just had a moment where one of the characters told one of the other characters this thing about themselves that was this big hidden thing, and it just felt like A, what? B, what? see. It was just like, where did that even come from? Like, was that the plan for that character all along, or was it suddenly like, hey, this might work as a good plot thing? It just seems so random, and like, just the character's just like, oh, this isn't at all that much of a coincidence. Like, what? And now I'm just like, it's just frustrated me. I don't know why it's annoyed me so much. It just seems so random and so like coincidental and annoying to the plot, and I'm just like, what is happening in this book? What is happening in this book? Good morning, it's Friday. I am living the Friday vibes. I am nearly finished with Hunting Prince Dracula, and it's coming out at the moment in like a 3-star in my head, but obviously when I run it through Core that'll give me a bit more of a solid idea, but I'm really close to the end, so hopefully I can finish that today, and then continue with my next read for the Myth Take TBR, which is a bit of a beast, I'm not gonna lie. It's Kingdom of Ash, which yes, I still haven't read, and whilst that doesn't look that gigantic, it's like 800, 900 pages. See, what am I doing to myself over this read-a-thon? Honestly, I'm just picking up these gigantic books that just, you know, I'm just going through that TBR. These are like the books that I should have read a while ago and haven't yet, all of the books I've read so far, so really I've done this to myself, but yes. It's just before work, so it's like 8 something or other, and I thought I would catch up with you guys before I started work because, you know, I'm in that spirit of actually vlogging properly this week, so hopefully this has been a better vlog. I'm really enjoying this new camera as well. The quality is very high. I'm just gonna have to work out what the right size to export this as so you guys get the high quality on YouTube and not 720p, because there was no point in going much above that before for file size and upload time. Anyway, that's boring technical jargon. I'm gonna crack on with my day. I will speak to you guys later when hopefully I can finish that book. So I want to go out for a walk on my lunch break because it's meant to be raining from like now until 8, and the sky is looking quite dark. What do we think? Oh, that just looks really overexposed for you guys. Okay, take my word for it. It's dark and cloudy. It did just start raining and then it stopped, so I'm gonna go for it. The next footage of me could just be a drowned rat. This is definitely my end of day Friday look. But I finished work, done. Oh.
Visit my Instagram. On Instagram it's @fictiontea, on Twitter it's @fictiontea, and on the blog it is www.fictiontea.co.uk.
I was just filming some footage for you guys, and then Lauren decided she'd interrupt with walkie-talkie on the watch because she thought she could message me at inappropriate times, so that's what that was. Right, where was I? Okay, end of day Friday, finished work for the day, and now I can sit and read and finish Hunting Prince Dracula and then start Kingdom of Ash tomorrow, I hope. I really, really want a bath tonight. Every night this week I have just struggled with sleep. I don't know why. I keep waking up feeling knackered despite going to bed at a normal time, and maybe I'm not quite relaxed when I'm going to sleep, so I'm gonna have a bath right before bed. I'm gonna do lavender smells and I'm gonna make it really calm and chill, and it'll be great. And then I'll go to sleep, and then I'll wake up at like a normal time, not super early, which is what I just seem to do all the time, so that's great. Hopefully I can avoid doing that. Also, really want a takeaway tonight. I don't know if it's happening, I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I really fancy one. And it's been raining outside a lot, so I feel like staying in, takeaway, film. It's a nice cozy vibe. It's what we want on a Friday evening. Sometimes I wonder if maybe I'm surrounded by too much yellow. And then I remember that yellow is the sunflower colour, the sun colour, the happiness colour. It's just the colour of joy and happy and good times. If you don't like yellow and you're watching this, then, you know, you're wrong. It's as simple as that. But, you know, there's a lot of yellow going on right now. We've got yellow here, we've got yellow here, we've got yellow here, and it's here, somewhere here, and it's right here. There's yellow everywhere! And I have no regrets. It's a very happy colour. One day I will have my own home and it will be yellow. There'll be lots and lots and lots of yellow. Maybe I'll just have a whole yellow bookshelf. Except I don't have that many yellow books, so maybe I won't do that. Maybe I need more yellow books. Maybe that's what I should make my life mission. Yellow books, gotta have them all. Sorry, as with yesterday, I'm slowly descending into madness because lockdown. Okay, you remember that time when I first started reading this book and I was like, guys, I think I know what's happening. I think I know who the murderer is. And now I've got like 20 pages left and we've just had the big reveal. I was right. It's my Ravenclaw showing through right now, but yeah. See, when you're watching a TV show, I feel like things can really easily slip under the radar because you can just ignore it in the camera shot and it's not necessarily going to be the focus of something. But when you're reading a book, everything is in here for a reason. Every single thing leads towards what's going to happen. And that kind of made me more aware of who the killer was going to be. Not that it's difficult to guess it in TV shows as well, but like, it just, some of the movements made by the characters in this book and some of the ways it was written made me think, now that's who it is. So I don't know if I'm happy that I guessed it or not, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit smug. But yeah, I kind of wanted to not be able to guess it because I said if I could guess this, I wasn't going to continue on the series. So for now, I'm not continuing on with the series because I want intrigue and I want to be surprised by this kind of a book, and I haven't been, so it's good. It's really good. Just, yeah, slightly disappointing. Good characters, good writing, just the plot didn't wow me, didn't intrigue me enough. But I would definitely read more by this author because I think Kerry Maniscalco has a really nice way of writing and I really like the characters she's written. I'm talking like I finished it. I'm going to go read these last like 20 pages and then I shall catch up with you properly with what my rating is. Okay, book 1 of the week down, book 2 of the readathon and book 4 of the month. This was Hunting Prince Dracula by Kerry Maniscalco. It's a historical-ish fiction mystery thing. And I'm going to run it through Core Pile now so you guys can see what I rated it. This is the second book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series and it follows Audrey Rose and Thomas Cresswell as they are sent to study cutting up bodies, forensics, I guess, at a special school castle thing, and they are taken away into some kind of mystery that goes down the route of Dracula and vampire hunters and vampires and Vlad the Impaler and all that kind of thing. So let's run it through Core Pile. Characters is the best part of this book in my opinion. Audrey Rose and Thomas Cresswell are really good characters and I really enjoy reading about them. So we're going to give it a solid 8 for characters. So atmosphere was also pretty decent, but not like mind-blowing, but I liked the dark gothic nature of it, so we're giving it a 7. Writing is, I think Kerry Maniscalco's writing is really good. It's just the plot that lets it down a little bit in these ones for me, so again I'll give her writing a 7. The plot, I'm going with a 5, which is really low, but I've realised looking back at my old reviews that I'm never harsher with some of my features of reviews, and actually for me the plot just didn't hold it together enough, and I guess what was happening, it's a 420 page book and on page 70 I guessed correctly what was happening, so intrigue again was not great. I was more intrigued to know if I was right rather than for the purpose of the mystery, so giving that a 5 as well, I think. Logic, that's getting a 5 because the logic really let me down, unfortunately. It just didn't really feel very natural. Like, I know that when you're reading a book that's not strictly logical within the bounds of reality that we know anyway, it's not really gonna be logical in the normal sense, but I feel like this didn't really work within the world that it created. It just didn't fit in for me with what I expected and what the world was. And lastly, for enjoyment, I gave it a 6. So that totals out as a 3-star and a 6.14 on Core Pile, which is just about what I expected really. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't love it. That's normally what a 3-star is for me. Like, it was fine, but yeah. That is my second read of the readathon, which means I can now move on to Kingdom of Ash, which is big. So I'm going to read a Throne of Glass recap of the whole series because Lauren and I were talking about it on the phone earlier and she tried to go through it all with me, and I think I need to read the recap as well because there's a lot and I can't remember much. So I'm going to go do that now and start Kingdom of Ash later tonight. Dun 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 dun. I can't get copyright for this, right? But there it is. There she is. There she blows. Kingdom of Ash. Coming in at a reigning total of like 7,000 pages. There she goes. And there I go to read a series recap because can I remember what happened before this book? Absolutely not. Good morning, happy smiley humans. It is Saturday and it's not raining. I feel like 2 weeks ago it was very much just guaranteed sun and heat every day, and now we're suddenly just in the middle of rain. But it's sunny, kind of. It's windy and cloudy, but it's sunny, so you can bet your ass I'm gonna go sit outside on the chair and read the beast that is Kingdom of Ash. Also, look at the front of this under the dust jacket. I seem to have managed to get one with a signature on it, which is very cool. I assume it's Sarah J Maas's signature. Maybe one of the booksellers just got creative and did some etchings into the cover. But I am a whopping 14 pages in, which is pretty impressive, I'm sure you'll agree. I'm about to take part in, well, I'm about to take part in, it's 12:10, it's not even the morning, it's 12:10, and at 12 AM the 24-hour readathon started for this weekend, for the Myth Take readathon, and I have read 14 pages, so what is happening with my hair? So I'm gonna join in now, because I feel like it took me ages to get going this morning because I had to put the toner in my hair that keeps this coppery red colour alive, given that we cannot go to the hairdressers at the moment. So that always takes me ages. So I feel like to get going on a Saturday is always like a bit of a drag, but I've done it. I'm ready. I'm going to sit outside. My makeup's just going to probably fall off my face, and I'm going to read Kingdom of Ash. Quite the mix of wind, cloud, and then suddenly sun right now. We're really high on the wind front. Yeah, it's kind of, it keeps becoming sunny, but I'm just sat outside reading, and there's a lot in this book. And I read recaps last night. I spent all of last night reading recaps and watching recap videos, but I am still like, I'm a little bit lost. I could do with character index because it's been a while since I actually read these books rather than just recaps. So some of the characters are coming in, I'm like, I can't quite remember who you are, but it's good so far. I'm on chapter 4, page 39, so I'm really not very far in at all. But I think we're gonna go for a walk in a minute and find the goats again, and then I shall continue reading later. Hello, child.
Hi!
Oh, we can't both fit in at the same height.
Oh yes we can.
Did we just see the goats?
Yeah.
Do you love them very much?
I'm kind of scared of them.
You're scared of goats?
Yeah, I don't like their horns.
So Ava, what are you currently reading?
The Lonely Pony, one more chapter.
The Lonely Pony, the thrill of children's books. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah.
What would you give it out of 5 stars at the moment? 5 is like the best book ever.
3.
3! A 3-star review from Ava. That's pretty good, yeah?
I take my books very serious.
Oh, do you? I thought I would quickly give you guys an update whilst I had my ring light set up because it has got extremely dark outside. It was so sunny earlier. I went for a nice walk, sat outside and read for a bit, and then it just pissed it down with rain, and now it's gloomy and sad. But I just filmed my Fairy Loot unboxing for the May Fairy Loot box, which was amazing. The book was stunning. So if you want to watch that, I'll put it up here somewhere. But I thought I would quickly update you guys and maybe close down the vlog, I guess. I have not done as much reading as I would expect to today. I've probably read about 50 pages of Kingdom of Ash. I've not had a busy day, but I've had a lot happening. That kind of means it was a busy day, but it didn't feel like a busy day. I sat outside and read a little bit in the early afternoon, and then we went for a walk, which ended up being like over an hour-long walk to go see the goats. And then I came back and FaceTimed Connie and Lauren for Connie's birthday. And then I felt a bit funny, so I just watched a couple of episodes of New Girl, and here we are. Then my Fairy Loot box arrived. I was really hoping it would arrive earlier, but it arrived at like 6. So, nah, that's fine. I'm glad it arrived because it was an absolutely fantastic box. I'm really pleased with it. Yeah, I'm all on the Fairy Loot high now. So yeah, check out my unboxing if you want to see what was involved in that. Obviously it's a spoiler unboxing and it was for the May Fairy Loot box. Other than that, what have I done this week to wrap up this reading vlog? I finished Hunting Prince Dracula and I gave it 3 stars out of 5. I enjoyed it, but I found it slightly predictable. And I am currently reading Kingdom of Ash. I'm 50 pages in. I think next week's reading vlog will probably be like a read Kingdom of Ash with me kind of reading vlog. That is my 3rd book for the Myth Take readathon, Make Your Myth Take a readathon, and I'm enjoying it so far, but there is a lot going on. I have not read any books in this series for a few years. I think I listened to the Tower of Dawn audiobook a couple of years, like a year and a bit ago maybe. I was definitely in my old job because I would listen to it whilst I was driving back and forth to work, and that was the last thing I read of this series. and I can't really remember much. I spent all of yesterday evening looking at series recaps, and honestly it kind of helped, but also it's not ingrained in my brain enough, so I keep reading about characters. I'm like, who are you again though? Who are you? There needs to be a glossary at the front. I'm gonna check if there's a glossary at the back, because I keep reading books and I get to the end and then there's a glossary or like a pronunciation guide. I'm like, dude, I needed that at the front of the book, so I knew it was there. So I'm gonna check the back of the book because that would be really helpful. But I am definitely enjoying it. I'm really excited to read this one. This is like one of my very highly anticipated books for the read-a-thon. I don't know why it's taken me so long to get to this book, given it's been out for a couple of years now, but I think possibly I felt daunted by it and I was worried that I wouldn't remember the series as well, which is still an issue, but we'll get there. That was my reading update. Yeah, finished a book, started another book. It wasn't the busiest week for reading, but at the same time I'm happy that I managed to finish Hunting Prince Dracula, because that's one that's been on my TBR for ages. I feel productive, like I'm getting through the books on my TBR. It's editing Beth quickly inserting into this footage, because I just realised I forgot to say that I finished All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. I actually forgot I read that this week because I read it quite early at the start of the week, but that was a really fantastic memoir written by George M. Johnson, and it talks about his life growing up as a black gay teen and his experiences going through that through a series of essays. It's absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed it and I gave it 5 stars. But I completely forgot to include it in the wrap up because I thought I read it last week, so we'll just pretend that was in there as well. I'll let past Beth get back to you now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go take my makeup off. I'm definitely having a bath later because I just really need a bath. I want something lavender smelling and just calm and relaxing, just to chill on a Saturday night, because Sunday's my day off, so I literally don't do anything. I don't put on makeup, I don't do any blog or vlog or anything to do with Books Nest stuff on a Sunday. So I feel like to start the Sunday by having a bath on a Saturday night will make me wake up feeling quite nice and refreshed and smelling of lavender. So I'm gonna go sort out my face and stuff and edit the rest of this vlog and my fairy loot video, and then I'm gonna have a chill. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my camera quality. I've honestly been so excited about this camera. I was so excited when I ordered it about 3 weeks ago, and now that it's finally here and I'm able to use it, it just makes me feel more motivated to pick it up to film, because there were so many problems with filming on my phone. The main thing that was really annoying me was that my phone would randomly shut off and cut me off in the middle of filming, which was really irritating. I hope you enjoy this camera. Let me know what you think of the quality down below if you notice or care. Which, you know, you probably won't, but as a picky techie person myself, I care and I notice. I've been having a great time editing because we're like, oh, look at that high quality face shot and look at all those marks on your face and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna stop talking now so this vlog doesn't end up being like 2 hours long. I'm so sorry it's a slightly longer one. I think I filmed more footage because I was excited about the camera. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like this extremely long vlog, please give it a thumbs up. You can comment down below, or you can subscribe to see more of my face, the yellow, the camera and all that fun stuff. Thank you guys so much. Keep smiling and stay positive.